Okay, we are going from space to spirituality. We've got a great conversation entitled You've Got to Have Faith, the focus being on the AI part of that element. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage Manu, Jain, co-founder for VAMA. All right, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to sit on this side. You sit on that side.
I wondered what I had.
So I think it's fair to say cutting-edge technology is not just, revolutionising health and food and our social life. It has transcended to spirituality, to God, providing immersive experiences and connectivity to sacred sites worldwide. And that's exactly what me and Manu are going to chat about now. So first of all, how are you?
Very good.
All right, it's good to have you here. So thank you for taking the
Good to
time.
be here.
So you are the co-founder of the VAMA app. Now, for those in the room who don't know what that is or what VAMA stands for, can you start by giving us a brief overview of the app?
So VAMA basically gives you access to spirituality. Right now, you get access to temples. And I heard this from someone in the morning. They said, we have heard of SaaS, which is software as a service. Imagine spirituality as a service, one temple at a time. In India, we're digitizing. We're already at 400 temples that we work with at one service and enabling, giving access to more services for temples.
And how are people accessing? What's the
kind
of experience?
We have an app where customers can come and consume. You can get a virtual puja or a procession done. You can do virtual donations, like a one-stop shop for you to do anything on spirituality.
Yeah. And what inspired you to create the spirituality app? And how has your own spiritual journey influenced this development?
So, in India, before you're born, there's a priest who will come and tell you. So it is even before you're born, there is a priest in your house. And even when you pass away, there is. So your entire life, there is spirituality, there is temple. It is part of your beliefs. It is part of our value system, right? From there on, I have been, like my mother is a big Shiva bhakt, right? Shiva devotee. My own journey, I think when I was building for corporate life 20 years, somewhere you lose it, you lose track, you're just doing your building, you're hustling, you're hustling. I think, but since then, there's a lot of mis-selling also that happens, unfortunately. And for me, that was one of the biggest problems. I have two daughters. What is their first experience on spirituality? How can I make that experience for them better? I think that's what guided me to
and I guess it's about accessibility as well. Like what you just said, people are busy, life's not as simple as it was, 20, 30 years ago. We've got so much going on. There's not just that one day that you can go and kind of be spiritual. You can kind of tune in and channel in as and when you want, and that's where your app comes in.
And one of the most watched videos on YouTube for Indians is a spiritual song. It's the most watched YouTube ever. Right?
Wow.
And in COVID, this in all times of distress, right? Spirituality goes more.
Of course.
People are consuming more content.
And how has the digital transformation, would you say, bolstered religion and spirituality over the years? Obviously, your app is a great example of that. But, technology really is helping people have a better relationship with their spirituality and to God.
Look, so technology is just an enabler, right? Its job is to enable, for me as a customer, to get a better experience at a temple. So what can technology do? It can make me experience a temple which I can't go physically to virtually, right? It will allow me to do a payment which required me to pay cash at a temple as a donation to now virtually do it, right? Or use different UPI methods. For example, India now has cardless transactions also, right? So that's what's the job of technology. It's going to complement your journey here, right? Temples also now are embracing it. We have gone to temples in which they are saying, okay, they want to expand their reach, right? So we are literally digitizing them.
And I guess, things like, strapping on a VR headset and being able to take a wander around.
We're a little away from VR headsets at temples, but...
No, but that's initially, that's where we're going. We're talking about the future here,
100%,
being able to strap on some face furniture and being able to have that experience. Could be for disability reasons, could be for financial reasons.
So it's already started. There are 4 temples which offer VR services. We are not powering them, but they have started. Where you can go a complete 360-degree immersive experience sitting at your home here. You could be transported into a temple in India and you could walk through, you could do procession, you could literally have a tour of the temple. That's where we are all going for.
And kind of looking into our metaphorical crystal ball, where do you see that relationship between technology and spirituality by 2035?
I think so 2035 is another 10 years away. I definitely see immersive VR experiences being one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
People want comfort. People, a lot of people today, when we go to temples, don't have a great experience. Because you versus me would have two different experiences,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
People want, and you also want to go to a temple. Can you do that sitting at your house when you have, in the morning, when you wake up, you want to do a prayer? Can you, in your house, sitting in your comfort of your home, be transported to a temple that you grew up to? Right? That's what we are. That's what our vision is.
Yeah, oh, that's a beautiful vision. And definitely, I think the foundations are being laid right now, not just with your app, but just so many companies are, it's like we were talking in the last panel, it's a collaboration effort, isn't it? Yeah, can't do it by yourself. We need the other technologies to help bolster that experience. So let's talk about your actual journey. 3 founders who are extremely unorthodox to this venture capitalist, this VC world. What has that experience been like? Tell us about your experience from then till now, and talk me through being the first Indian company to raise money from Wavemaker Ventures and one of the best Southeast Asia funds.
Yeah. So 3 co-founders, average age 42. VC world likes younger founders. We don't come from a really high pedigree education. One of us is a 3rd generation astrologer. He can't even speak in English.
Yeah.
Right? So when you go to the VC world, you're playing to a very unorthodox. They're not used to seeing people like this. When I say in the call, sorry, but we will have to talk in Hindi because one of us doesn't understand English.
Yeah.
Right? So half of them are looking at us and saying, what's happening? I think we have been working for last 20 years in corporate lives, right? We have seen this business grow, right? In India, before mobile internet, right, people used to consume content on mobile phones. Right? Telecom operators were the custodians of content, right? India consumes A, B, C, D. Everyone says this. A is for astrology, B is Bollywood, C is cricket, D is devotion. That's what India consumes, right? And that's the biggest business today. We have seen this in our journey, our telecom operators, how this is getting consumed in the country, right? Wavemaker Ventures, very interesting, first investment in India. And they've looked at the Indian market for some reason, and they're a B2B AI fund, right? They don't understand faith or our faith so much, right? But I think their bet was on the business. Can this be industry which is changing? Can this be one of the largest regional plays of businesses that happens in India? Yeah. So I think we are fortunate to have them in our journey.
Yeah, but I love that as well. Like being unorthodox, unconventional. It's good to shake things up a little bit.
Always,
I think sometimes we do things all the same way. It makes people feel like they're ostracized. They can't be a part of it. But you guys have completely spun that.
Like my co-founders who are 3rd generation astrologer, right? Like maybe he doesn't understand the VC logo. Maybe he doesn't know what a target audience is, what a term is. But he knows when a customer goes or when a devotee goes to a temple, what is the offering? What is the experience that he knows that better than everyone sitting in this room.
Yeah.
Right. So if he's going to design the product, he just comes and says, look, we have to make this. How our product managers or internet people are supposed to make it into an app is our job, right? But the problems on ground, I always believe online is an extension. It'll mirror what offline behavior is, right?
Yeah.
We can't replace it.
Yeah, of course.
So if someone is an expert on the offline, they will add value to this.
Yeah, and again, that word collaboration, it's key, isn't it? We can't do these things by ourselves.
Absolutely.
We all bring different talents and skills to the forefront.
Correct.
And mixing that together in our little pot, that's what creates something great.
Magic sauce.
Yeah, exactly, the magic sauce. Yeah. So with immersive technology making sacred sites accessible virtually, how do we ensure that the experience remains authentic and meaningful? Yeah. That's quite important.
I think there is a lot of advancement that's happening at the temple side. The temples today have trusts which govern them. We have to go through a proper process when we go to the temple and sign them up, right? There are literally RFPs, RFIs that we have to go pitch, bid. Their understanding their understanding of technology in India is far greater than it was maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that we have to do is make sure that you partner with the right temple, with the right people. They are very strong advocates of this. For them, COVID was a disaster.
Yeah.
Right. For 2 years, they didn't have income. It's very difficult for the priests to even survive. They don't want to ever be there again. Right. So they are trying to continue to be digital. Right.
Yeah, of course. And what are some of the challenges that you faced, when you've kind of reached out and tried to make these collaborations and connect with different temples and different areas? What are some of the challenges you face, if any?
Yeah, I think a lot of temples feel that there's something. The temples are unicorns, right? Temples have enough. They have brand, they have capital, they have finances. So they just want to make sure that you're the right partner.
Yeah.
Will you missell on their name? Is one of the biggest problems that the temple has. Do you understand this problem? Will you be transparent enough? Thankfully, India has had mobile internet advancement like none other than the last 10 years, right? So now people have a great experience on a mobile phone. This was not possible 10 years ago, right? Like you would have hardly 2G, right? India is now the cheapest country in the world on mobile internet, right? People are consuming content all day. So if you have that, then people want to access this content.
Yeah.
Right. So the temples are only bothered with, don't spoil my name. Are you the right partner for this?
And it's like what we were saying, it's like keeping the experience meaningful, right? Yeah.
And authentic.
Yeah, and not removing that. By
so you'll be surprised that the temples literally test the service. The temples say, look, my priest is going to do this for you. They will come try it out. They don't allow there are literally freelancer priests also available. They said no. So the temples are very, very clear on the process of this. There is a process in this, right? Maybe it's not formulated in PowerPoint presentations, but temples do this.
Yeah.
Right? They know this.
Yeah. Okay, and finally, what is your ultimate vision for the future of spirituality with the integration of technology, and how is your app going to contribute to this vision?
I think my vision is just for my daughters or for the younger generation today to consume spirituality the right way. There is a lot of mis-selling on the internet. There's a lot of misinformation, right? There is not enough genuine content for people to consume. If we can even play a small part in that change, that's all it for us.
And on that note, please give it up for Manu, and good luck on your spiritual app journey, honestly.
Thank you.
Really great to hear from you. Thank you. All right, photo time.
Thank you.